Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right, this is going to be an interesting read. So, for this collective, this is definitely going to be another reading of the grass wasn't so much greener on the other side, now was it? Okay. I feel like when it comes to your person, they could actually be currently with somebody because I'm feeling like there's a heavy third party energy that is very much involved. Okay, but I feel like something has changed within them when it comes towards you. If I were to really feel, it's kind of regret, but I will, like I said, I will break everything down, which, by the way, hi, I go long in detail for a reason. So if none of this applies to you, sits right with you, you don't want to hear what I have to say, that is okay. I will be back some other time. Okie dokie. But I feel like, though, for this collective, before I get yelled at in the comments, I think I'm hearing for once, you don't even want them back. And I'm saying that for a reason. I feel like this person has been in your life for maybe quite some time. Maybe you guys have been through cycle after cycle after cycle with each other. And in the past, you've always craved this person. This person could have really affected you more in a negative way. And now I think you're finally taking your power back when it comes to this person. I don't think this person is triggering you the way that they used to trigger you, okay? But I'm going to see more obviously in depth of like what has changed within this person, but I feel like they're still with somebody, and I feel like this is more romantically, okay? But let me kind of confirm the overall energy. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, I found a ladybug. It was like on my window. I just had to, take it back outside. But ladybugs could be very significant to you. You could be seeing ladybugs. It was like right in my window. I couldn't tell if it was outside or inside my home, so I let it out. Yeah, okay, and then commitment and then challenges right there. And that's kind of where I was feeling for this collective. I feel like your person is very much committed towards somebody else. But I'm also hearing, with that challenges, make a decision and work on inner healing. I feel like your person's in the process of making a decision about, so there is something about, and something isn't all the way what it seems to be. And then I got fire sign. You could be a fire sign. They could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yes, someone else. If you know this other person's zodiac sign, they could be a fire sign. But I feel like I feel like Leo season is going to be very significant for this collective. Like I said, that could be the zodiac signs involved. I cannot talk right now. And then, yeah, give it time, as I said that. I feel like something's coming up Leo season. What is coming up in Leo season? Mercury retrograde. Yay, right? The one time where everything's under review. Please, let me do one more for that fire sign. Yeah, intuition right there. You need to listen to your intuition. The red flags you ignore now will come back to bite you later. And that, what we all have always said about Mercury retrograde, that is not the time for reconciliation. That is not the time to get involved with commitments. But like I said, for this collective, I feel like something has shifted within you, though. But with this intuition, I feel like that is something you kind of slap your knee about, is maybe you never really listened to your intuition about this person, as bad as it sounds, and I'm not beating this collective up for it. I feel like there was very much red flags there with that, the red flags you ignore will come back to bite you later. And I feel like that every time that you have shut down your intuition for this person, or did the whole, no, they would not do that, or no, I'm going to seek the potential out in them, it would bite you in the butt later, and you would slap yourself on the knee. And I feel like the reason this is circling back is a big test to see kind of if you've learned your lesson. I always say the universe will always repeat the same lessons towards you until you finally get it. What's this make a decision? Challenges. What is this challenge? Health issues could arise. Oof. For this collective, you could be dealing with some health issues right now. I feel like for some of you, I don't know why I've been seeing with it, you could be dealing with like nerve pain. Like somehow your nerves are, bothering you right now for some of you. But even then, I'm also hearing you could just really be feeling under. Yep, as I said, nerves. My nerves in my back were like shooting up toward. Yep, sign right there. There's something about nerves, like you're dealing with nerve pain for some of you. But I'm also hearing when this comes in, I always say there's no bigger sign than our own emotions. Like, listen to your body of what it's trying to tell you when it comes to certain people and your energy. And I feel like your body, your feelers, whatever you want to call it, your intuition, but I'm even hearing physically, your body has actually always rejected this person. So if you've always got involved with them very sexually, okay, maybe, your body's kind of responding of get away, and maybe that is something you've always been like la 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 ignoring. I'm also hearing when this comes at the nerve thing is not part. Listen to your body. Are you feeling sick to your stomach? Anybody that is truly meant to be in your life at that specific timeline, at that frequency, you would feel safe. I feel like this collective, you never felt safe around this person. I feel like with this health, your body, and what that challenge is, again, make a decision. I don't think it's a matter of, well, I don't know what to choose, or like, if I should hold on this or let it go. If this is your reflect back in the past, your body has always sent off signals of get away, whether it is you feel sick to your stomach, or all of a sudden you've gotten sick, or maybe if you've been around this person for so long, you break out like, ugh. There's somehow your body has responded towards this person. Commitment. There's that someone else sign. I knew it. Your person is still in a commitment with somebody else. Let me do one more for that. Patience. Something's coming to an end soon, but let me see, where is this going? And then, wow, okay, I got no, it's not the right time, but then confession. I'm telling you, with that no, it's not the right time. Something's coming in during like Mercury retrograde. I could feel, and that is like the pivotal point of like when Leo season is coming through, and you could very much be a Leo. But they are saying, what did I just say? Like, people always hit me up as a tarot reader saying, oh, my person came back and it's Mercury retrograde. No, but I feel like for this collective, you don't really want this energy back. Even with that give it time, I feel like that no is you. No, you don't want to give it time. I feel like this collective, you are on the verge of being done. Let me do one more and then we'll break this bad boy down. Intimacy, that sexual chemistry, reminiscing right there. Clearly this person, I feel like, has always came in for lustful reasons. And especially, let's be real, if this person has always, if you felt used by this person, or this person would lead you on, love bomb you, whatever the case is, and yet they chose somebody else for a commitment, of course I can see where this collective, you could kind of snap, be like, you know what, we're done here. And that's kind of more what I'm feeling for this collective. But again, I'll break all this down. But yeah, there's that honeymoon phase. I feel like you guys, that's what I'm saying. You guys were only together for a short amount of time, and then you guys would split off from each other. But to really confirm it, this is your reading. And like I always tell you guys, I'm here to confirm how you're feeling, not to tell you how to feel. Okay? But let me more now see, how do you feel towards this person? How does this collective, how are you feeling towards this person? How are you feeling towards this person? Let me do 4. Okay. Consuming passion, carelessness, proper offering, and nature calls. You could be feeling very called to right now to get out in nature right now. There is something about this collective. Maybe you love to like go outside and like sink your toes into the mud or in the dirt, but I'm also hearing do that, like ground with nature, learn to ground yourself right now, because you need to right now, especially if a certain someone's coming through. But again, that's sexual chemistry that came up again. And I feel like that's this collective in a lot of ways. I think maybe you're in this spot right now. You're kind of doing the, do I really love this person, or was it all lust? You know what I'm saying? I think you go back and forth between it, okay? You are in this spot, and that's with that proper offering. You want somebody into your life. I think you do look for commitment, but I feel like when you reflect back on this person, especially the way that they've always treated you, and if they've always used you and all that sort of stuff, maybe you're kind of going back and forth doing that. Maybe I was the problem too. Maybe I just wanted one thing from them as well. But regardless, I feel like this person's always torn you apart. I think that you, by the end of despite of all the back and forthness, you wanted commitment out of this person. I think you wanted to take things seriously, and they never gave you a proper offering. I don't think this person's ever, I think when you reflect back, you feel like that they have never courted you I think now whenever you think of this person, it's literally like that whatever attitude. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this collective, you're kind of, if you're not really over this person, you're really getting over it. And I think you're getting over as far as how they never came in properly to you. I feel like maybe possibly whenever you found out that they moved on or got with somebody, maybe you really did have that's why I said at the beginning of this reading, you're not as easily triggered as you used to be. I just don't think you let this person as of right now bother you the way that they used to right there. Yeah, unexpected changes, powerful changes of the heart, this collective. I think it's like I'm kind of feeling when you found out that they moved on or got with, it's like it gave you the ick. It's like this person finally disgusted you is kind of more what I'm getting. Let's see more about this carelessness. Jealous one, scared of losing you, don't want to share, and then protective of you. And that's kind of what I'm saying, how I feel like this is kind of going back and forth between how you are now versus how you used to be. That's what I'm saying. You used to let this person affect you. Maybe this person would used to move on to somebody else, or you would find out that they would go hook up with other people, or whatever the case is. You would let this affect you with that don't want to share, protective of you. Maybe you were this... For some of you, I feel like for some of you, you could truly be celibate since this person. And I feel like it's always confused you. Like, how come I'm protecting my vessel for this person, but yet they could go, pretty much go do whoever. That's what I'm saying. This person really affected you. Maybe you had a bad habit of always being kind of maybe hyper fixated on the new person that was in their life. And you would do well, what do they have that I don't? I feel like you were more jealous of the other men or women. Again, gender doesn't matter here, on who they would choose over you. And you would like kind of overanalyze, like, what is it about them that like, they chose them over me? And now, again, I feel like you're kind of getting bored of that. I think there has been a lot of development within this collective of simply your self-worth. Consuming passion. Temptation, seduction, weakness, tempting offers, and desires. When you reflect, again, this is still how you view this person. When you reflect back on this person, like, I really do feel like that they do tempt you, especially if in the past they've always repeated this kind of nonsense to you. I feel like this behavior out of your person is nothing new to you, okay? I feel like every time they would come into your life, it's like, I feel like this collective, you would kind of give in to this person. I'm getting more... Julie, okay? Apples could be very significant. Like the story of Adam and Eve is very significant. Like they're tempted to, bite in the apple. Temptation. You think of this person as extremely seductive. I feel like this person has a way with words. They would always hit the right spot. Even some, it could be physically, but it's always, they always knew what to say to get you to, okay. And I think that you're kind of doing no wonder, this is very lustful of how you look at this person. That's why I feel nothing here is talking so far about true, genuine love. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe for some of you, your feelings, you're kind of getting over this person. I think, like I said, you really do reflect back and do was I really in love with them, or did I just get, good, from them? A long list, high maintenance, unrealistic, high standards, and never satisfied and hard to please. Ugh. And I just said at the beginning of this reading, no wonder this collective, you kind of get the ick, especially, I think this person in the past made you question your self-worth a little bit, okay? And let's be real, it doesn't feel good even right now. And I feel like that part still triggers this collective a little bit, is like, how come like this person is supposedly so in love with me, but they can never really commit to me, but always commit to other people. I think this person, you reflect back and do wait a minute, they made you feel like you were high maintenance, that you were offering too much. I feel like you embody this, with this proper offering. This is really a reflection about, I didn't notice what they're doing. They're doing how are you feeling about them now versus how you used to feel about about them. Okay, and I feel like that's what's coming up next for your person, all right? I'm telling you, my throat, it's like blocked right there. Anyways, I think this person made you feel like that you were too much, and maybe now you have this attitude of, okay, well, if I'm too much, go find less, okay? And that's maybe something, wanting to have something to offer. You're wanting some, it's like that saying of, I'm using this term for a reason. One man's "you're too much for me" is another man's "that's all you need." That's what you're looking for now. I think you're truly in this headspace, this collective, when it comes to this person of, oh my gosh, I deserve so much better. What was I thinking? Okay, but again, you still never completed a cycle with this person. I feel like every time, even though great, you're seeing your worth, you're seeing your power, you're kind of doing the, what did I see in this person? I think, again, that you do look at this person as very tempting. And I always say, when it comes to giving up your vessel, be very careful, because what are you doing? You are obviously giving your energy to that person, but you're giving them protection of karmic justice. So if you really want, not saying you want them back, but if you really want this person to sit with reject them. I'm telling you right now ahead of time what you need. Really tell them to go away. And I feel like this collective, that is what you failed to do in the past, is tell them to go away. And nature calls. Karmic ties. What did I just say? I think in the past, maybe you've always done my person's always been hooked to karmics. I think now you're starting to ground yourself, being like, maybe I was the karmic. All of us are karmics. I think there is something about welcome to planet Earth. You're finally grounding yourself when it does come to this person. You're finally seeing the facade of it. Yeah, many love interests not ready to settle down. I think you've always put yourself on this pedestal of I'm the divine. And you could very much be the divine feminine in this scenario. But now there's questioning of, maybe I am the karmic, because this is not good. And you really do feel like this person has not improved at all in their personal life. Let me just do a couple more, and then I'll move on to your person. So I got friendship, and then the Knight's Tale right here. Chivalry, an offer of love and old-fashioned values right there. That's what I'm saying. You've always craved commitment out of this person. I feel like this person's always friend zoned you. And that is kind of something I feel like you reflect back. And I think that you do look at this person as they've always used you, for physical things. And it's always broken your heart in the past, because I think you've always seen them as, you wanted that old-fashioned love, somebody to date you and court you and fall in love and get engaged and get married and have babies. You've always envisioned that in your life, and I think now you're in this spot of, I think I just envisioned that with the wrong person. Maybe they were just more of a lesson and, not more of a blessing in my life. I have to say, there is nothing here. Again, this is still how you feel towards this person of, oh my gosh, I'm holding unconditional love. When I read this, I get the ick. I feel like this collective, it's like they finally did that one thing to disgust you, and it's truly move on with somebody else. You are starting to see, maybe this person's not just meant for me. And you're starting to become okay with that. Like I said, I think what still triggers you is like, dang, like I was in love with this person. I fell so in love with them, just for them to treat me like I was lust and commit themselves to somebody else, You're finally seeing your worth. Good for you. Now, I want to do how's this person feel towards you. This will be interesting. And I have to say, I don't think this person is on your energy radar, especially if you know they're committed towards somebody else. There's something about you don't feel like they're going to come, Let me see, how's this person feel about this collective? How's this person feel about this collective? Let's do 4 again. Okay. Secret admirer. I'm telling you, they're watching you. And that could actually be another sign, is like maybe you have noticed. I don't think you have each other blocked, because I feel like you both in a funny way still kind of have access to each other in a way. There may have been something recently you notice that this person has been watching your stories, or they may have friended you or liked to post. They're doing something you figured. All right, I got the Proud Rebel right here waiting, and then Deep Wisdom right here. What's that? I have to say, even though there's a no contact, because that's more what I'm definitely getting out of the both of you, this person in a way knows you are really piecing out this connection. They are seeing you glow up like no other. And as bad as it sounds, it's kind of this energy of they kind of look at your page or look something up about, yep, I'm getting chill sign. It's like they look at your post to see if you're still tripping up on them, if you're still waiting on them, if you're still doing this, or do it for them, because you've always have in the past. And maybe I'm bringing up social media for a reason. Maybe in the past, like you've always maybe had a habit. I always say be careful sometimes when you post, when it comes to if you're sharing memes or making posts or whatever about a specific person, because you're kind of letting them know where you stand interjectly. Maybe in the past, this collective, you would always like post memes or like sad like memes or photos or whatever the case is. And this person would always get a trip, a high off it going, they're tripping, they're missing me. You're not really doing that anymore. Maybe this collective, you are really thriving on your own. There is something about you are wise like an owl. They really do feel like you have an old soul, like you give out good advice. You have a wisdom, literally that deep wisdom about you. There is something about like I'm kind of getting a student. Maybe this collective, you're a teacher of some form, or you mentor people of some form for a living, and they see that you're thriving. They see you thriving right now when it comes to maybe your independency. But I'm also hearing they see that you're a little bit of a rebel. Instead of like maybe lately you've been posting like, sad, mushy wushy stuff. Maybe lately you've been posting about like women empowerment, feminism, whatever the case is. You're empowering stuff like, and maybe they're seeing that and they're like, whoa, that's what I'm saying. This person knows from a distance that but they don't like that, even if there was somebody else. What's a secret admirer? And then the Moon. That's what I'm saying. Fears, insecurity. Things are not as they seem, and there's information yet to be revealed. Truly. I think when it comes to that, the person that they're with, they're really putting on this facade that they're probably happy, that they're doing the great. When it comes to social media posts, and I'm bringing this up for a reason, this collective, you kind of have a tendency, like I said, maybe not so much anymore, of like kind of letting the internet know what you're going through, what you're feeling, or at least how your energy is looking, where now everything's changing. You're posting powerful, rebellious things. Whereas this person, I feel like they are the opposite. They always post how happy they are, but again, not everything's what it seems to be. And maybe that's a lesson you've kind of learned with this person, is simply stop stalking them on social medias. Because I always say, when it comes to social media, what have I always said? If you open up Pandora's box, you're going to create a tower moment you're not meant to see. And maybe that is something that has triggered this collective in the past, is you've always had a habit of, I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what they're posting. And then you would see something, you'd be like, because I always say, for one, the internet sometimes is literally not always what it seems to be. Just because they're cheesing in front of a camera doesn't mean they could be throwing faces at each other as soon as that, Facebook post hits. You know what I'm saying? Unexpected windfalls, I'm telling you. This person's not showing their cards towards you. The Proud Rebel. Healing heart. Opening your heart, healing emotional pain, preparing for new love. And I'm telling you, they see that in you. They know you're preparing for new love. They know you're healing them. You're getting rid of them. There is something this person is scared of being left behind. With that, both cards are all about fears and fears of being rejection. Even if there was somebody else, this is an ego thing. And I always say, ego's not your amigo. They're really terrified that you are going to leave them behind, which if this is your reading so far, you kind of are. Right here waiting. What are they waiting on? What are they waiting on? Beauty, grace, romantic, and explore your desires. This person could be ruled by the planet Venus. But I think they look at you as Lady Venus. Beautiful, romantic. Let me see one more about that. I think they look at you as a hopeless romantic, not so much themselves. What's this right here waiting? Let me do one more for that. Then I got Beauty and the Beast. Major difference. Feeling love life is cursed. Desperately looking for true love. What did I tell you? They said they know they went for easier, not better. You challenged them in a way that nobody else did. Whoever they're with, I feel like is exactly like them. And I always say, I always say this, we give karmic, people or karmic ties or karmic relationships so much crap thinking they're toxic. I don't think this karmic is the problem at all. I think this person just moved on. That simple as that. I don't think the karmic here is the enemy. And let me make that clear before I get irate in the comments, okay? Karmics, I've been a karmic, you're a karmic, they are everybody's been a karmic in somebody's lives. What do karmics do? They are meant to teach you lessons They're meant to be in your life temporarily to teach you a lesson. And those lessons sometimes is to reflect you. The karmics sometimes will hold up that mirror and do that. Do you like what you see? Oh, no, you don't like what you see? Okay, I'm going to reflect everything about you of what you've done towards other people, towards other situations. So in a lot of ways, this karmic is kind of their karma, but it's not so much like that. This karmic is not fulfilling your person, giving them that high the way that you did. They look at you as you two have a big major difference. And especially if they look at you as wise as an owl, I feel like this collective, you could be older than this person. Maybe this person, when it comes to third parties, they have a tendency of going for people that are younger than them or their age. They really fought this off with that rebellion. I feel like this person's also always been rebellious when it came towards you. As much as there is love here, because the difference between you and this person, I will say this person's energy, the way they look at you, yes, this is kind of toxic and kind of a little egotistical, but there is love here, despite, the problems in the past, okay? This person did everything they could and said to you to make sure it did not work. And this may trigger this collective, but it's like they were in the past embarrassed to be around you, maybe in public or, take you around their family. And maybe this collective, you didn't, meet their family. And I'm hearing the family could have adored you. It had nothing to do, but this person has a thing with the way I'm using, getting chills. Anytime I get chills, that's like confirmation. This person is so egotistical. I feel like they cared about image. And it had nothing to do with your looks or the way you acted. It was simply about age. They were impressed with, but they shut you down at the same time. That's not good. Green eyes is significant. I'm seeing a lot of green here. This person, you or this person could have green eyes. Deep wisdom. What is this about? The devil's domain. Obsession. I'm telling you. Addictions and poor habits and codependency. Your spread, it kind of reflects what they're doing right now versus what they kind of were in the past. I really do think in the past this person did put you on a pedestal in their own right. They really could have. The one thing I will say, considering there's a lot of actual chemistry between the two of you, I think this person really did look at you as you were the hottest thing they've ever bagged. I think that is the one thing that they did show off. Yep, I'm getting chills again, is, oh my gosh, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, whatever, is so hot. Oh my gosh, I can't believe, and that is where you brought out their insecurities, because it's almost like felt like they didn't deserve you. But instead of sitting with that and being honest with you, they made it feel like there was something wrong with you, like you were embarrassing them, that you were shining brighter than them, which is disgusting. I feel like it's the opposite. This person's always been obsessive with you, which I feel like this collective, you may side eye on that. I think this person, I don't know why I'm feeling this. This person could have a Scorpio moon. Let me just do a couple more and then we'll move on towards the next step. They're not going to lay their cards for you on the table. They are not going to let you know anything about what's going on with the third party. How are they feeling towards you? They're not going to do that. They are going to come in with a quick check-in to be like, hey, are you done? Hey, are you okay? How's it going? But no apology, no nothing. They are coming in to make sure you haven't shut that door. And there's something about your silence. They know this about you. And maybe this is true. Oh, yep, chills again. This is something you kind of embody, maybe, and you know this about yourself. It's like you have this attitude of the moment I don't F with you anymore is if I truly ignore you. It's like, even if you respond this person, it's like, even if I'm telling you right now, this collective, if you respond to them doing the F off, go away, they're going to do the, okay, they're still in my life, they're not going anywhere, they are tripping on me, and that's what this person's always looked for. I would not respond to this person. Let them sit with it. Knight of Swords. Where are they? What's this communication? King of Cups in reverse. That's what I just said. They're not coming in to open up about their emotions. They want to make sure you're not going anywhere. With the third party or not, doesn't matter. It does not matter. I know this sounds brutal. They don't care about the third party. They care about you, but not in the sense they're being mature about this. Let me do a couple more on their intentions, and I want to see what is Source's advice towards this collective. Queen of Swords in reverse, and then the Strength in reverse. And then Judgment slid out right there. Ugh, this is giving me the ick. They know. I saw spiders are significant. They know they make you weak in the knees, and they're hoping that you would lower those, boundaries and swords down and be like, come here. This judgment call, truly sorry, depends on you, especially if they get a hold of you during Mercury retrograde of all times. I would 222 on my timer. I would not. One more. Ace of Swords. It's time to see clearly the situation. They're coming in for communication strictly. There's nothing here about emotions, Two of Cups. They just want to make sure you're not going anywhere. And I don't think for some of you, I don't think they'll end the third party all the way. I really don't. Use your intuition, guys. Personally, I would not respond at all. You clearly have a clairvoyant, clairaudience. You can see right through this person. You know what they're going through. Trust that. You don't need a response out of this person to tell you. But now I want to see more on what is Source's advice for this person after retrograde. Is this something worth leaning on towards? And per usual, after this, if you don't want this person back, that is okay. If anything, I don't blame you. But let's just see now. What is Source advice after retrograde? Is this meant to come through? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. King of Cups, the Hierophant, Death, and Ace of Pentacles in reverse. One second. Here's the thing. If you want this person really back in your life, if you don't, that is completely okay. I do not blame you. You really want this person to change. You really want this person to level up spiritually, emotionally. Ignore them. Do not, I'm here, text or phone call. Nope. Nope. No. I would not. That is the only way to make this person truly respond appropriately. And again, when I say that, I know you can't make anybody grow up or make anybody see your self-worth, by no means. But I don't think this person has went through an ego death. And if you were whether you want this person back or not, it doesn't matter. I'm hearing from your guides, it is time to destroy their ego. Do not respond to them. You do not need to respond to this person again, because I'm telling you, even if it's a negative response you give this person, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, they still love me, thank God. They're wanting something out of you. I'm going to be honest, I don't see this coming through. until the end of the year. Queen of Pentacles and then the Seven of Cups. If that is the case that you want. But even then, you have a decision to make. Personally, from what I'm seeing about this person, I truly think you can do better. But even again, when this comes through, again, you know, even after retrograde, that is really where the review period comes in. Like, did you pass it? And again, you're being tested on your grounding. Literally seeing what we talked about, sinking your toes into the earth a little bit. Can you ground yourself without feeling triggered and feeling the need to respond to this person or give him the middle finger and go, oh my God, hi, no, give him nothing. That is the decision that is going, and you're going to be faced with that challenge right there. Because I feel like this collective, you may be the one that is quickest to respond their text message or put everything to the side to answer their phone call. And you're in that moment, you're going to be faced with that challenge of, are you going to pick up the phone or are you going to be like, nope, not my monkey, not my circus? What is coming next for this collective? Shut up, Ace of Cups. Page of Pentacles. I just said you could do better. I'm telling you right now. And like I said, if I see this person possibly coming through appropriately, it won't be till the end of the year. But even then, I'm a tarot reader that I always tell you guys, you should never wait on anybody. You are going to have Ace of Cups. You're going to have that Ace of Cups coming. Their karma, they missed out on you. They're going to have to watch you. They're already watching you grow up. I said that for a reason. Maybe you did grow up a lot, even, you know, emotionally or mentally, but even then glow up. That's what I meant to say. This person's watched you glow up mainly when it comes to your career, your finances, your looks, and now they have to watch you be happy with somebody else. Yeah, and I feel like, and I don't like using the word karma too much, but this person, we got on the last spread, they know judgment is coming. For one, you are being under judgment to make that decision of nope, but also they know that their karma deep down, they're not going to admit it, is they have to watch you be happy without them. Decision's yours. Personally, if this is really your reading, I would, if they come in, especially during Mercury retrograde, I wouldn't even respond to their text message. They're not worth it. They are not worth, especially if your intuition's ringing for some reason and you still know that they're still involved with somebody. Nope. Nope. I would not. Okay. Let's get initials. First, last, middle initials. Could be you, could be this person. I got the word Katie, Caitlin, Kennedy, S-O-N, something about a sun, Sunny, Y, I know it doesn't spell sunny, but Sony, that is so weird, like the Sony, like the, whatever, H, K, like the TVs and the electronic stuff, C, K, B, Y-I-A-T-A-D. Okay. Okay. Significant memories, birthdays, upcoming ones. Like I said, it's Mercury retrograde. This will come in. That's just a couple weeks away. All right. 3 years from now or 3 years ago, you could have been involved with this person for the past 3 years. 24th, 5 days from now or 5 days ago. 1 month. The 21st, the 4th, the 3rd, November, 1 week from now or a week ago, spring, 3 days from now or 3 days ago, 15th, and then the 27th, okay? And now, let me get angel numbers. These are angel numbers you're probably already seeing. All right, 101, 1441, 1221, 1414, 1144, 1616, 0505. I hope this helped my babies. Good luck, and until then, I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.